Hey, what's up, guys? It's Laura, and I've been away for a little while. My head has not been great. So I basically, I always say to people, you can tell when I get really depressed because I A, drink protein shakes all the time when I'm depressed because I can't be bothered to eat, and B, I light loads of candles, listen to really atmospheric music, and just do everything in my power for my brain to be okay. Oh my god, my necklace is like the wrong way round. Yeah, so please excuse my wet hair. I've just washed my hair, and you know when you have to mentally prepare to wash your hair. For me it's even worse because I have naturally curly hair, so I have to constantly rake my fingers through it to kind of straighten it out a bit, and in the morning I will straighten it. It is 8:30 in the evening. We're in that weird, I'm a bit of a weird person. You know how people get depressed in the winter because it's always dark? I get depressed in the summer because it's always light. And that just makes me sound like a complete vampire. But no, I think it is because I don't sleep very well in the light. I don't sleep very well when it's light, so I just had a bath, probably TMI, but I just had a bath. I washed my hair first because I have to wash my hair in cold water, and then I don't have to. It's kind of like a vanity reason. It smooths the cuticles and stops it from being so frizzy, and also because I dye my hair silver, it stops the colour coming out. Particularly when I don't have an awful lot of money to, and I kind of should have straightened my eyebrows up before I went on film, but there you go. Never mind. So this is my little sanctity space. So I have, I'm just going to take you through my little shelf here. This is my bed. I'm actually sitting on a stack of pillows because you couldn't see my shelf. So basically I used to sleep on this side and my husband slept on this side. So I put this shelf up higher for him because he was afraid that he was going to keep smacking his head. So we have a Nordic bed, which means it's quite low down. It's maybe a foot from the floor, quite low, and this is his shelf. So he's a pilot, and he's got this little bomber jacket teddy bear, and he's got this antelope because he used to live in Ghana. Got a little tray thing from Nambia, I think it is. And a couple of other cool things on his shelf, and my shelf is my little sanctuary. So I have a pine cone. I've got an obsession with pine cones. I'm super obsessed with nature and things that come from nature. So these shelves are actually kind of meant to look like mossy wood. So the laminate shelves, but the front here is bark, and it's got moss effect on it. So I have my watches here. I only have 2 watches. I have one which is a digital watch, and I don't know where that came from. I think I got it from a charity shop or something. The other one is a Swatch watch, which I've wanted a Swatch watch for years and years. But my husband finally bought me one about 2 years ago. I've been nagging him for a Swatch watch forever. I could have bought myself one, but I don't like spending money on myself. Anyway, so I have pine cone because I like nature. I have my little Finnish trolls that my friend Janni bought me. She's Finnish. We actually met in the UK after I came back from Finland because I was an au pair and I was in Finland for a bit, and I will go into that another day. So we actually met working in a nursing home. She is a mental health nurse, and she doesn't live in the UK anymore, but she bought me that when she went to Finland on the multiple times she went back home to Finland. I kind of really miss her, actually. I need to go and just visit her soon. As soon as I have money. That's another story. I got my poppy seed heads, my brother was like, are you trying to make opium? And I was like, no, because my dad is like an avid gardener, and I kind of have got green fingers from him, so he gave me loads of poppy, because I was like, I love poppies, they're so beautiful, and my dad had them grown in his garden, so he cut me loads of poppy seed heads, and last year put them in a paper bag, and I completely forgot about them, and I found them in my cupboard, so I shook all the seeds out of them and planted the seeds, and then the seed heads were dry, so I've put them in a little jar up here, and I've got these two little tea light things. They're actually Christmas ones, and this one's turned around because it's a penguin, and it's June, so I was like, well, I like penguins, but I'll turn it round anyway, so I've got them too. I've actually got 5 candles lit at the moment. I've got some of my old-fashioned books. I've actually got more than these, but this shelf can only take 25 kilograms, and it was kind of leaning forward a bit with all my books. So I have a few like Charles Dickens ones over there. I've got the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales. I've got, what else have I got? The Brothers Grimm fairy tales, Jabberwocky, and the Canterbury Tales. And this teddy bear is, when I worked in Finland, the guys in Finland gave me that teddy bear that I worked for. So the people that I worked for gave me the teddy bear. And this is a vase made from antler. It's a Sami made vase. I don't have anything to put in it. I was actually just thinking a minute ago to put the poppy seed heads in that antler vase thing, but I don't know. I'll play around with that another time. And I have my ghost lights. I don't know if you wanted to know that I have my ghost lights, because you can probably see them. I got them from Tiger. Well, I think it's known as Flying Tiger Copenhagen now. But we have one in Brighton, so yeah, that's that, and I have a cup of tea. This looks like a very calming, relaxing area, but actually right here is my desk, corner desk, and then I have 2 more desks, and over there is my wardrobe. My room at the moment, this wall is finished, the rest of it needs to be painted, so it was meant to be like a week-long job. Last year I took the wallpaper off, and the people that built this house didn't actually paint the plaster properly, so the paint is peeling off, so it's taken me like literally 14 months to peel the paint off, and in the end I got really fed up with sleeping on a mattress on the floor. So I painted this wall. I've got this wall finished, and a little bit of either side finished, and painted it, and then this wall's fine. So yeah, I'm slowly getting around to doing the rest, but I've been very stressed. The reason why is because I'm very stupid. So basically last year I finished my degree, and I can't remember if I told you guys that or not. So I finished my degree, and I was like, I don't know what to do with myself, because I work in healthcare. At the moment I'm an auxiliary nurse. You don't have that in most countries. So basically I am what you would call a tech nurse or a nurse's aide, depending on where you live or whatever. So I am an unqualified nurse, so I'm a nurse, but I didn't go to uni and all of that. So I can give certain medications, but not all of them, blah blah blah. Anyway, so I was like, I love animals, maybe I should be a vet. So being a vet nurse, you actually learn less than I earn now, and you have to go to college for free. So I was like, well, vet nurse is out of the window, so I wanted to be a vet. So I was looking up how to be a vet, blah blah blah. So I finished my degree, but I had a really bad time with mental health in my GCSE and sixth form years. So I was like, well, it says I need to get some more GCSEs even though I have a degree, which is really annoying. But I basically decided to do 3 extra GCSEs to try and get A's in those GCSEs. Not that they do A to E grades anymore, it's like 1 to 9, and I don't understand it at all. I've just kind of done the exams and like got on with it. So anyway, I stupidly kind of, like, this is my problem, is like I don't like waiting around, so I sort of jumped both feet first into this essays and GCSE exams. So they're actually IGCSEs, and right, okay, so I couldn't find a college to take me on, or a school to take me on to do my exams. In the end I found one was local private school, I had to pay loads of money to do that. So I paid for these courses, which was like £1,500 to do the courses. And then they said, oh, you need to find a school. So I found a school eventually and had to pay the school like £500. And then I was really, really, really depressed. Didn't study. So I was depressed because basically I was put onto reduced hours at work because of my depression. I was having a lot of time off work. I'm actually better mental health wise because I've learned how to cope with it. So I put on loads of candles and I play nice music, blah blah blah. So I could be really, really depressed but cope with it. Whereas before I was just really not coping. I really didn't understand how to cope with it. So anyway, I paid it like monthly, and it has kind of really, really shat all over my bank account. So I'm quite well into my overdraft at the moment, which I hate being because I like being in control of things. Part of my like anxiety is about control. So yeah, I'm kind of like not in control of that at the moment. So I'm like doing extra hours now. It took me so long to like convince work to let me do extra hours and stuff. But I was like, do you know what? Actually, between working too hard and actually, having enough money to eat, I'd rather have the money to eat than working to, do you know what I mean? So anyway, they've agreed and it's all fine and dandy now. And anyway, work was like, well, I kind of want you to become, my manager was like, you're really good at your job. I want you to go further in this job. So they've put me forward to do training in my job so that I can eventually become a fully qualified nurse, which is fantastic. But I kind of now feel like, why did I go into doing these GCSEs and spend all this money and blah, blah, blah. So I've spent £2,000 doing GCSEs. But like some days when my mental health is better, I'm like, well, it was a challenge. And I'm one of these people that I call it ants in my pants syndrome, and I don't like sitting around. So I'm always on the go, I'm always busy, and I just like to, really kind of just be doing something all the time. I just have to be doing something. So on my good days, I'm seeing it as like a challenge, and it's something that kind of just kept me going. But I've decided, you know what, like the thing that I really love to do is languages, and kind of doing my degree in linguistics and languages really took my love of languages away, because I was like, oh, I'm so stressed, blah blah blah, and I just really fell out of love with languages. So I've decided now I've finished my final exam. I did it today. It was on business studies. Didn't study a thing for it, but fingers crossed. You would have hoped 10 years since I actually left school, and I've had 10 years of life experience and own my own business, blah, blah, blah. You would have hoped that I had enough smarts to, cope with that. But that's not me at all. I should revise. I was a very, very gifted academic student until the mental health hit, and I went cray cray. Actually, I shouldn't really say that. That's not a very nice term, cray cray. So basically, I just went completely off the rails. Not like behaviour wise, but there's a lot of behaviours that I was punished for at school that as an adult I can look back and say, well, actually, that was massive, massive warning signs of really poor mental health at the time. But schools back then, there wasn't any training on mental health, so I don't really blame the school at all, but I do really, I have blamed the school in the past. Part of it was my fault. Part of it was probably my parents' fault for not realising, but they had their own issues. It's a long story. They basically had like this massive family tragedy at that time. But I really think that there was one teacher who really, really treated me like shit. And I'm not even going to beat around the bush. She did treat me like shit. And she is probably... I mean, I already had the mental health issues, but she probably massively exacerbated them. Oh my god, don't go away. Sorry, the backlight on my Mac keeps going. So she probably like massively exacerbated them, and like the consequence of having bad mental health during my teenage years is that I kind of left school and entered the real world on the wrong foot. I left school with a really bad sort of start. I kind of felt really like shit about myself. I had like no self-confidence. I had nothing. I was just an empty husk. I had all these problems, didn't know how to deal with them. I grew up in a community where mental health is just not talked about. It's really taboo. I'm like always like mental health, mental health, mental health. That's why I talk about it all the time, because I really believe that if more people were educated about mental health, then less mental health, fewer people would suffer with it, basically. Let's speak English properly. Thank you, Laura. No. I shouldn't really be drinking tea at this time of night, but, you know. Anyway. So, anyway, I was meant to be in Israel right now because my husband is on holiday there, and I am not because I had exams. My own fault. But yeah, I just don't like sitting on my hands. I just need to be busy all the time. So, I've been kind of ill. I've had this like tonsillitis type thing going on. I don't know if it is tonsillitis. Never saw a doctor because it's kind of pointless, because it's a virus of some description. Nothing they can do about it other than wait it out. And I've been feeling kind of groggy, kind of that mental health, like stress. But I've decided that, you know, I'm going to take each day as it comes. If I want to do some learning, I can do some learning of my languages, something that I actually really enjoy. If I want to do projects, I can do them. I really want to do some amigurumi crochet right now, but I can't find my crochet hooks. So, yeah, also we had our boiler redone. We had a new floor done in the lounge, and then suddenly the gas board were like, oh yeah, we can do your boiler, like, 3 weeks early. So we were like, okay. And so we had like the whole house was just like I had to go in the loft and get all the stuff out, and I've been having terrible problems with my hip joints, so that really exacerbated that was really painful. And so yeah, basically I've been in and out of the garage trying to move stuff. I'm trying to not put too much stuff in the loft. I'm trying to put like Christmas and Halloween decorations in the loft. Halloween is a big deal for us. Stop making noise. Halloween is a big deal for us, so I am making kind of improvements to the house, slowly but surely, whilst trying to budget furiously, and trying to do extra shifts at work to try and get out of this little spiral of debt that I've got myself into by being too fucking hard on myself. Honestly, what is wrong with me? Yeah, so I've got a couple of exciting projects that I've been doing recently in the background. You know, I've always got something on the go, as I was saying. I've teamed up with one of my friends, and we are doing this project. It's about mental health, but I don't want to go too far into it because she might kill me. Yeah, so that's that. And what have I got coming up? Stop going black, my god. So basically Martin's going to be away for like another week, which is kind of rubbish. I hate it when he goes away, and kind of miss him. So this candle I actually bought for him, but he doesn't use candles, so I've been lighting it every night that he's been away because I'm like, it reminds me of you. That's so sad, isn't it? But that's just me, that's my brain. Yeah, that's how I've been. Like, it's like the third night he's been away or something. So yeah, I am currently reading a book called L'Oreal, which I cannot find. Oh my god, so guys, you are balanced on a chair on my mattress. It is not. It's a desk chair as well, so it's a bit like spinny. It's not cool. So I am going to read for a little while. I'm going to work tomorrow. I have been off work because I was poorly, but I'm going back to work tomorrow, so all hell will break loose tomorrow. And I'm reading this book called Lirael. It is the sequel is the correct word. So I hadn't been reading for ages because of my mental health. I just hadn't been reading. I used to read all the time when I was a kid, and recently, since GCSE years, I've just not read ever. So I'm really getting into reading. So I'm trying to also kind of minimalise. So I'm reading all the books that I had that I never read. Does that make sense? So I've had loads of books for ages that I've never read. So I'm reading them. I had Sabriel, which is the first one in the series, and then it's a kid's book, I know. Teens book, but I kind of like teens fantasy. I don't know why. Just kind of like Harry Potter over and over again, and Lord of the Rings, all the same thing. My head is like Disney films on repeat. I watched Song of the Sea last night. I accidentally bought it on Amazon because I have one-click thing set up. Kind of dangerous, by the way, if you have that. Just saying. Anyway, I was watching that. It's an Irish film. Reading Lirael. I know it's a kid's film, but I'm trying to reread anyway. So I read Sabriel, and I really enjoyed it, because the first time I tried to read it when I was younger, I just didn't enjoy it. It probably wasn't my thing then. Now it's my thing. I read it, I enjoyed it, and then I was like, well, do you know what, I'm a bit of a completionist as well. My husband's always like, yes, I'm a completionist. So when I play games, I have to complete them 100%. Obsessive. So yeah, I decided to use the library. I'm trying not to spend money on entertainment too much. I keep hitting my head. Spend money on entertainment. So I'm trying to spend less than £10 on myself every month, just for the time being, until September, when I can stop paying for this bloody course that I haven't studied. Yeah, so I'm trying to not spend too much money on myself. So it costs 60p to reserve a book, apparently, at the library, but I've done that, and I'm reading Lirael, which I got out of the library. I also have all of the Terry Pratchett books to read. I haven't got all of them. I've got 20 Terry Pratchett books, none of which are the first one. So I've requested the first one from the library. It hasn't come in yet. So when that comes in, I will read it, and I like reading things in order as well. I know you can read the Terry Pratchett books not in order, but I want to read it in order because I'm weird. So yeah, so basically I'm going to read the books and then get rid of them. And that's that. So I'm trying to minimalise. So I'm trying to streamline. I'm trying to streamline my life. Trying to get rid of clutter, mental and physical clutter. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts recently, so free stuff is great. Free stuff. YouTube, podcasts, library books. I'm also trying to do free stuff in the outdoor, go for walks and stuff. That's also my thing. My headspace is walking. Yeah, so I've rambled for 23.5 minutes now. Thanks for listening. I know I haven't been around. I am going to try and do this weekly at least, or whenever my head feels that I needed it. I'm apologising now for the darkness of the video, but I'm kind of in one of those moods where I just need it to be kind of dark and calm and blah-de-blah-de-blah. So I just made myself really tired. How can I do that? I'm drinking caffeine. Excuse me yawning. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my rambles. I'm going to try and upload videos a lot more often. Yeah, I had a lot of stress on my plate, and it's no excuse really, Laura, but I am just completely batshit, basically. So I'm trying to assimilate into the normal world and normal society, slowly but surely, and I'm also just, doing what I want to do. So there you go. So I have work tomorrow. I have work every day until Tuesday now. Yay. Yay. So yeah, I will see you guys soon. Like, subscribe, all of that jazz. My hair is still wet. But I will also follow me on Instagram. I'm at Miss Cosmonaut on Instagram. I also have a Project Health Instagram, which you can find through my Miss Cosmonaut one. I also have one for my rabbits, because I have like disabled rabbits. Yeah. Follow me on Instagram. I don't do Twitter really, so I wouldn't bother with that. Yeah, just I will post as and when my head allows me to focus on the outside world and not watch Disney films on repeat. Ciao! Bye!